Good evening. Okay, good evening, teacher and classmates. My name is Jonathan Quintero, and tonight I'm going to present my final exam entitled Unveiling Language and Social Stereotypes in Education, Empowering Teachers for Inclusive Education. First of all, I would like to mention that I chose this topic because I really like to make a big emphasis on social stereotypes, language and social stereotypes. And at the same time, I would like to empower the different teachers here in my country in order to help them to understand a little bit better how to make this the teaching learning process a little bit more inclusive, how they can help older students to be involved in the different activities. Okay, next. Now let's see a little bit or to understand what is this workshop about. This workshop is designed to seventh grade English teachers, especially, but it could be adapted to different teachers of all the in all the levels, with the knowledge and tools to recognize, challenge, and dismantle language and social stereotypes in education. By understanding the impact of stereotypes on students' learning experiences, teachers can create a more inclusive and supportive classroom that foster diversity and promote equitable education. Also, this workshop is like an academic initiative aimed at addressing and dismantling language-related and social stereotypes present in educational settings. The program, I mean, this workshop is designed to empower teachers with the knowledge and the skills necessary to foster inclusive classrooms where all different students feel valued and supported, regardless of their linguistic or social background. On the other hand, it is very important to highlight that these kind of programs envisions a future of education where this process is free from biases and where every student can thrive academically, socially, and emotionally, regardless of their background. By equipping teachers with the necessary tools and perspective, this program will contribute to the creation of more equitable and just educational landscapes or different educational places in which all the students can develop their skills in a more inclusive way. Okay, this this workshop would last 4 hours during 2 days. So 2 hours one day and the other 2 hours on the other day. However, this time can be adjusted depending on different situations. So it could be like 5 hours maybe. The place in which this program will be promoted is at Pusese. So this program will be shown to different teachers of all the institutions in Esmeraldas province. So all of them will have the possibility to be enrolled in this interesting and meaningful workshop. Okay, let's see. The main objectives of this workshop are the following ones. First, to understand the concept of language and social stereotypes in education. Then to explore the effects of stereotypes on students' academic performance and psychological well-being. After that, to identify common language and social stereotypes present in the classroom and teaching materials. Then to learn strategies to challenge and address stereotypes effectively. And finally, to develop practical classroom approaches to promote inclusivity and diversity. Moving on to the first part of this workshop, we are going to present like a short introduction, a short but meaningful introduction. It is gonna last 30 minutes, so we are going to prepare, or there have been prepared some activities. The first activity is an icebreaker activity to create a positive and inclusive learning environment among all the participants. The activity is called Common Ground. The objective is to help participants to find shared experiences and interests, building connection and creating like a sense of inclusivity with the group. Interested card preparation. So it is very important, and to begin with this ice-breaking activity, we have to prepare a set of interest cards with different hobbies, activities, and experiences written on them. You can include a wide range of options to cater the diverse interests, such as cooking, hiking, reading, mystery novels, or playing musical instrument, or maybe watching sci-fi movies. Then we have to say the different stages in which all the participants are going to work. So we have to welcome them, then to emphasize that they have, if they have a unique experience and these kind of things. Then we have to pair them up. So all the participants should move around the room and find a partner to pair up with. After that, they have to share their own experiences according to what they are reading on the different cards. So that is an activity that will help them to share different experiences, to share information about them, to interact between each other. And also, these kind of activities can be used in to build a better environment, an inclusive environment in their classroom. There are also some key takeaways, things around this activity. And the first one is that participants get to know each other beyond their professional roles, which helps to build a sense of community. And also this icebreaker activity will set a positive tone for the workshop, enhancing the overall learning experience, which is inclusion. After that, they will be proposing like an overview of the workshop objective and the expectation that they have, of what they think they are going to learn around all this workshop during these 2 days with 4 to 5 hours. Okay, let's see. Then we have the second stage on this workshop, and that is to understand language and social stereotypes. This like understanding process will last 30 minutes. The first thing that we are going to do, or that we will do, is to define the stereotypes. First, what are language and social stereotypes, and how do they manifest in education? After that, we will review some important concepts and ideas about the impacts of stereotypes on student self-esteem, motivation, and academic achievement. And finally, we will review a case of study and real-life example to illustrate the effects of stereotypes in educational settings. After that, and to make this workshop a little bit more dynamic, they will be proposed two important activities. The first activity is called language and stereotype analysis. The objective of this activity is to analyze how language can perpetuate or challenge social stereotypes. First, we will provide participants with a set of written materials such as news article, advertisement, or experts from books or movies. We will ask them to read or watch the different materials. Later on in small groups, they will have the possibility to discuss and to share different examples. And finally, they will bring to the whole group together, like for a discussion between with the other groups, so they will have the possibility also to hear some ideas. Okay, the other activity is a media representation analysis. The main objective is to explore how media portrays different social groups and the impact that it has on stereotypes. Okay, and after that, we will provide them with a set of activities that they can use to make their students to understand how to internalize the concept of language and social stereotypes. I mean, how they are going to help their students to learn that inclusion is the most important thing that we must take into account when we are teaching, or when we are learning, when we are sharing with someone else. After that, we will have a break time. This break time will last 20 minutes, so they will have the possibility different things, or to share more information, to talk with their colleagues. Then we will focus on the third activity. Okay, so this is about identifying stereotypes in the classroom. Okay, the first activity is is an interactive exercise in which all the participants will identify language and social stereotypes present in educational materials and their teaching practices. So with all this information, most of them will try to analyze and to internalize what they really need to correct, what they really need to change in their learning process. And at the same time, because I am going to be the person who is going to provide this workshop, I will give them some strategies such as using games, using technological materials to share this kind of information, and to help the students um, to think that we can find in the classroom different people, different educational necessities, but that is not the point. The most important thing is to try to include them in all the different activities that we have in the class. After that, we will have a group discussion. So we will share findings and insights reflecting on potential implications for students about what we have been reviewing before is with the interactive exercise. All these activities will be added with games, with different things that will help the workshop to be a little bit more interactive. After that, we are going to be focused on the fourth part of this workshop, and that is about challenging stereotypes in education. Also, this part is going to last 30 minutes. The first thing that will be done is that we are going to share some strategies for confronting stereotypes in the classroom. After that, what is the role of language use in perpetuating or challenging stereotypes? And finally, we will give to the different teachers some practical tips for encouraging open dialogue with students about stereotypes and bias. Okay, so that is the finish of the day one. Now moving on to day two, we will be focused on promoting inclusivity and diversity. This part is also going to last 30 minutes, okay? But around this topic, we will talk about inclusive teaching practices that celebrate diversity and honor students' cultural backgrounds. After that, we will talk about incorporating diverse literature and resources in the curriculum. All these literature and resources must be focused on how to promote inclusion in the classroom, how to help our students to understand that we have multiple intelligences in the classroom, that they can find different like different social ranges and some things like that, so they will understand a little bit better how this is gonna work in a real situation. And finally, we are going to be focused on creating a safe space for students to express themselves without judgment. I mean, to build an inclusive environment in which all of them feel comfortable on just saying their own opinion about something, or about sharing their own perspectives about what they just think of any topic that we are teaching. After this, we are going to have again a break time, because this day is going to be a little bit short. So we are not going to spend a lot of time doing many things. Okay. The last part of this workshop is the workshop closure. This is also going to last 30 minutes, because we are going to make like a bit of reflection about what we've been reviewing during all the workshop. So on this part, participants will share their key takeaways and action plans for implementing what they have learned. But how they are going to do it? they are going to do it preparing a short presentation in groups, so they will have the possibility to share different ideas, and at the same time to use all their skills, all their creativity to implement something in their teaching learning process. The next activity that we will have in the classroom is the question and answer session. So we will have a short interaction between us. So they will ask how to, for example, how to manage large classes around this topic of inclusivity, and they will address any remaining questions and concerns about different topics being touched. And finally, we will make a closing remarks and appreciations of, I mean, how they felt during all the activities, how or what did they learn with with the with the workshop and these kind of activities. At the end of the workshop, we will provide them with a post-workshop follow-up or their assignment. I mean, this is gonna be the assignment of the workshop. This assignment is gonna be or must be developed on a Padlet. So the assignment will encourage participants to share their experiences and reflection on incorporating inclusive practices in their classroom. So they have to provide us with ongoing support through a platform or community where teachers can exchange ideas, resources, and success stories related to challenging stereotypes and fostering inclusivity in education. As I mentioned before, they have to use Padlet, and on that Padlet board, they have to share all their ideas, and at the same time, they have to share the link with the other teachers so they can make something meaningful on that platform. And that's it. Thank you so much.